the most famous Newton law of gravitation. So first, let us see the equation. From that, we'll learn the statement. There is a body of mass m1 and a body of mass m2. These bodies are separated by certain distance, for example r. So these two bodies will attract each other with some force. Correct? For example, actually speaking, our earth is a body and we are a second body on it. So there is some force which attracts us towards the surface of the earth. So for that, Newton found out an equation through which we can calculate it at a certain space. So for example, there is two bodies of mass m1 and m2 separated by a distance r, and there is force which is attracting them towards each other. Correct? So how will we get the relation of force? So force will be directly proportional to the product of the masses of the body. Whenever it is product, it means multiplication. So m1 into m2. So the product of these masses will be equal to the force, gravitational force acting on the two bodies. However, there is certain distance which separate them. So the force will have some relation. So if it is the product, here it will be the division. So here force will be inversely proportional. There are two bodies. So the square of the distance separating the body. So what we found out, force is directly proportional to the product of the masses of the two body, while it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance separating to the two body. So this is our equation 1, this is our equation 2. If you properly observe the equation 1 and 2, your force is at a point directly proportional, at a point inversely proportional. So if we combine these two equations, combining equation 1 and 2, what we get? Force is proportional to the product of the two bodies upon the square of the distance separating them. However, when calculating, we cannot use the proportionality symbol. So here we have to change this proportionality symbol with the proportionality constant. Now, whatever object we may use, we will use it on the surface of the earth only, mostly. So the proportionality constant here is capital G. Capital G indicates the gravitational force applied by the earth. This is called the universal gravitational constant. Whenever you see capital G, it is the universal gravitational constant on the surface of the earth. Here, this thing is not mentioned in the textbook. See, in every planet there is different kind of gravitational force. Sun has a different gravitational pull, Earth has a different gravitational pull, Moon has a different gravitational pull. So this gravitational pull, the universal gravitational constant which we are using, indicates the gravitational pull of Earth. So this proportionality symbol we removed by putting a gravitational constant, and here we have product of masses of the two bodies upon the square of the distance between the two bodies. So this is the most famous Newton's law of gravitation. So from this, what will be the statement? So the gravitational force is directly proportional to the product of mass of two bodies and inversely proportional to the square of the distance separating the two bodies. This is the most famous Newton's law of gravitation. This is very important for numericals and further equations in the chapter. Uniform circular motion. Now we have seen it several times that a planet moves around Sun in a specific time period. For example, for Earth it is 365 days approximately. So in this specific time period, it covers a circular motion in equal time interval. Therefore, we call it circular uniform motion. So we have to find it mathematically. So only we can calculate it, prove it scientifically using experiments. So first, what we need to find is the speed of the planet. Let it be Earth or any other planet. So what we know speed, here we calculate in terms of velocity. So what is velocity? Distance taken upon time. Correct? So if a planet is moving and it is performing circular motion, the distance will be 2 pi r. The periphery, or what we say the circumference of a circle, and time taken will be capital T. This becomes the equation 1. Therefore, we got the value of velocity. That this will be the velocity of the certain planet. This is the first part. Now we know the basic equation of force. Force is equal to mass into square of velocity upon r. Now, seeing the equation 1, we know the value of velocity. So what we'll do, we'll substitute this value of velocity in this equation. Therefore, this equation will become mass 2 pi r upon t, the whole square upon r. Correct? Now what we'll do, we'll open the bracket. M 4 pi square r square upon, here one mistake, here we'll have a t square, the whole upon r. Now this r is remaining separate, correct? So what we'll do, we will multiply and divide the whole equation, multiply and divide this whole equation by r square. So what we'll get further, m 4 pi square r square upon t square into r square, correct? And below we have a r multiplied by r square. Now if we further simplify it, what we'll get, m 4 pi square r square upon t square, the whole upon r cube. This is the equation which we will get. Now here we have an r square over here as normal. We multiplied. Now here if we observe this part, I just pick up this part, t square upon r cube. Does this remind us of some equation which we have seen before? Yes, Kepler's third law. According to Kepler's third law, what it states, the time period taken by the square of the time period taken by a planet to revolve around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the distance between the sun and the planet. So removing the proportionality symbol, we give a constant, a proportionality constant. So according to that, this part t square upon r cube will become a constant. So this part will be cancelled out. So looking at this equation, what can we conclude? That the centripetal force which is acting on the planet due to sun is responsible for the circular motion. Now if we see again the same diagram, this is the sun and the planet is revolving around. The force which is acting, centripetal force, the inward force acting, is responsible for the circular motion of the planet. And how can we find its value? By taking the inverse of square of distance between the planet and the sun.